no Stephen Meeks this morning here on Mondays with Meeks, right?
Call in today, so check with us next week.
Okay, so Stephen cannot make it in with us this morning. So it'll just be Bob and I just flapping our jaws here for a little while. And we appreciate you tuning into the Big Dog Country Radio. Well, a couple of really good games yesterday. Some questionable calls, both by the refs and by the coaches. But we've got two fantastic quarterbacks in the Super Bowl, what I consider the two best quarterbacks in the nation right now.
You got the old guard and the new guard. So
yes, sir.
I mean, when you think about Tom Brady going to his 10th Super Bowl, that's just amazing.
That is amazing.
I mean, it's just
10 years in the Super Bowl with 6 rings. Mm-hmm. That is absolutely amazing. And for the first time ever, a team gets to actually host the Super Bowl, as the Super Bowl is in Tampa. And Tampa Bay will be there playing in their home stadium.
You know, what a difference one guy makes, you know.
It does.
He goes to that team that had a losing record last year. I mean, they have been to the playoffs in 12 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not only his talent, but his whole winning attitude, his attitude about discipline and work ethic and everything that goes with it.
He just knows the game so well. He's just fun to watch. You know, he didn't really play that well in the second half. Had 3 picks.
No, he didn't. It's amazing. They had 3 picks and they still won.
Yeah, the defense played extremely well for Tampa Bay, but Green Bay their defense at the end of the half was just, I mean, that's just totally unexplainable. I mean, how do you let Tom Brady throw a bomb? There was 8 seconds to go before halftime. I mean, even Tony Dungy said that's the worst defense he's ever seen in his life. I mean, he doesn't say anything bad about anybody. That was just hard to fathom what happened there. But, you know, not letting Aaron Rodgers go for it on 4th and 8.
4th and 8. How do you just go for a field goal?
If you don't make it, like I said, you still have your timeouts left 2-minute warning, and they're backed up on the 8-yard line. You got a better chance to hold them there at the 8-yard line and getting the ball back and kicking it and trying to stop Tom Brady. So I don't understand it, but I don't think Aaron Rodgers understood it either. He just looked like he was very depressed. So
what were you thinking? Well, you think Rodgers will be back next year?
That was the question everybody talked about in the beginning of the season. They keep saying that him and the coach didn't get along, and when the season went along, they acted like everything was fine. So who knows? I mean, he's under contract.
They placed first in the NFC. They had the bye week, and they were just rolling along.
It was hard. I can remember that was the first time Aaron Rodgers hosted a championship game.
Yeah.
He's played in 4. All the other 3 were on the road, so he's 0 for 4. And last time he got the Super Bowl, same time Pittsburgh got Super Bowl back when it was in New York in the snow.
In New York City.
Or, I'm sorry, was it New York? Yeah.
I'm not sure where it was.
No, it was Texas in the snow. Yeah, out
Texas?
in Dallas. Yeah, out in Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas. You were there.
Dallas, where the snow.
Are you going this year?
No, I was going if the Steelers made it. Like I said, that's the only way I was going to go. If my Steelers made it, I was going.
But you're not going to go.
I'm not going.
I don't blame you to go down there and have to go through all the COVID protocols.
I don't think they're going to have.
They're not going to have all the.
I don't think they're going to. Yeah, I don't think they're having.
Kansas City's not arriving till Friday.
Yeah, so I guess they're not having the media day and all that stuff.
Everything's going to be virtual.
Different. So,
listening to Jim Rome and Dan Patrick and all that. So everything's going to be virtual. No radio row and all that.
No media.
So everything's going to be no media parties.
It's going to be different.
So, no parties to go to, Bob.
No parties.
Yeah. So, everything's going to be virtual and just going to be totally different down there. It's amazing. Last year, the first Sunday in February for the Super Bowl, it was just a regular Super Bowl. And it was just 4 weeks later, the 1st of March, is when everything started shutting down.
Right.
In just those 4 weeks. Even the Daytona 500, which comes up in a couple of weeks in mid-February, was normal. Right. Okay? But, boy, 2-3 weeks after that, things started shutting down. Didn't have the Masters. Baseball season was put off. And it was just, things have changed, really changed in the last year. Hopefully things will get better.
It's just amazing.
Hopefully things will get better.
It's just amazing they had the entire season.
It is amazing they had the entire season.
They're just, Super Bowl was just 2 weeks away, so maybe we'll at least get the TV commercials and all that good stuff. Well,
they're going to have 20-something thousand fans there.
So they're letting in 20,000?
22,000. They're going to have 1/3 of what it will sit. A whole 66,000. They'll have 22 there. And 7,000 of those are going to be first responders.
They only had 8,000 in Green Bay. They sounded like they had more than that. I mean, that was a loud loud crowd at Green Bay,
they had those things to bang on the chairs and everything. Yeah, but about 7,000 of those are going to be first responders. Nurses, doctors, first responders, people of that sort. They're giving away 7,000 tickets to these first responders that are able to go, and they showed interviews with some of them yesterday. But heck of a game yesterday. It's amazing, Tampa Bay's been on the road. Wild card team now. They're a wild card team. They did not win the division or anything. A wild card team. They had to go to Washington and beat them. That wasn't really a surprise. But then they were an underdog to New Orleans and won there. They were underdog to Green Bay and they won there. And now they're an underdog to the young Buck and his team there from Kansas City.
Mahomes is special. He does things that you haven't seen in quite some time. So, he is going up against the GOATs.
But he's going up against and a heck of a defense too.
Right.
So look what defense has done. Yeah. Look what their defense have done to the two of the best quarterbacks around Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers the last 2 weeks.
Green Bay, like Clay Terrace talking about, you just have to worry about what you can control. They're still upset about that interference call because I don't think the officials called any call during the game. I mean, they kind of swallowed their whistle throughout that entire ball game.
Yeah, that was supposed to be. That was definitely interference.
I saw several interference calls that weren't called, but they called the one there at the end of the game. But he was tugging on the jersey, so I mean, it was all. But the flag came in awfully late. So
awfully late, huh? All right.
Still, though, I don't understand the decision not to let Aaron Rodgers go for him. That's just got everybody shaking their head. I mean, watching all the talking heads yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Tonight, no one can understand. The coach tried to explain it, but nobody's buying it. I mean, Aaron Rodgers isn't buying it. I mean, you got one of the greatest quarterbacks that ever played, Hall of Fame quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Why not give him a shot?
Give him a shot. I mean, you're not there to try to keep it close. You're there to win.
Tyler Bass had a good playoffs, though. From Georgia Southern, kicker for Buffalo, several 51-yard field goals. Plus, he successfully had the onside kick, and they said that was the first successful onside kick in playoff history.
Well, was it?
So Tyler Bass
from Georgia Southern, representing the Eagles real well up there in Buffalo.
He's doing well. He can kick.
He can kick. I mean, Southern knows that. We all know that down here. And he's doing well for Buffalo up there. So, way to go, Tyler Bass. Kicking that ball good for the Buffalo Bills. It'll be interesting to see how the Bills will be next year.
It's good to see the Buffalo Bills back in the playoffs after all those years of not being irrelevant. They had those great teams back with the Kelly and Thomas, but so it was good to see Buffalo back in the hunt. But it'll be an interesting Super Bowl. I'm surprised the line's as low as it is. I thought Kansas City would be at least a 6 or 7 point favorite.
Well, we'll see if it changes any in the next 2 weeks.
They just know what I do. Don't bet against Tom Brady.
Well, every time you bet against Tom Brady, you end up losing.
You just can't do it.
I mean, you're talking about, you cannot buy the experience that man has. He can see a defense and know what they're going to do before they know what they're doing.
I think Green Bay lost the game more than they won the game, though.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
They gave up that touchdown with 8 seconds to go. I mean, that was just unthinkable. I just couldn't understand it.
You don't let the defender go. You don't let the receiver get behind you. You just don't let the receiver get behind you. You tackle him on 5-yard line. Time runs out.
You got to play prevent. You can't let the guy score a touchdown. I mean, he ran just right by him. Wasn't even close.
He probably didn't think the ball was going to him. He probably just said, "Well, they're going to, do something different." He just
that whole sequence. They was 4th and 3, and they were on the sidelines. They're going to punt the ball, and Brady says, "No, we're not punting the ball. Let's go out there and try to score." So they go back out. They convert to 4th and 3.
Right.
They got 8 seconds left, and he throws a bomb for a touchdown. That's why he's the GOAT.
That's right. That's why he's the GOAT. Yes, sir. I was reading an article that said that there has been a Georgia Bulldog in most every single Super Bowl. Like right now for Kansas City, you got McCole Hardman, wide receiver for Kansas City. And if you take a look back at the Super Bowls through the years, there's been a Georgia Bulldog in most of them. Not all of them, but most of them.
He redeemed himself after dropping that punt and giving Buffalo that easy touchdown. That was not good.
No, it wasn't. No, yeah, but he's had a good career there so far at Kansas City.
He went to the bench and threw that tarp over his head.
He's under the going.
His teammates were kind of
What was I thinking?
He was like, how stupid was that?
Yeah.
He couldn't believe he did it. But it'll be 2 weeks. 2 weeks from
2 weeks. 2 weeks getting ready for the old Super Bowl there. And looking forward to it. It ought to be just, I mean, you got great matchups here. You got the old GOAT. You got the old guard, 43 years old, against the young buck, 25 years old. You got two good defenses, especially Tampa Bay's and Kansas City's is pretty good also. You got so many storylines there. That's the reason why, I like watching the pregame shows on the networks is the storylines, the talking about the players and everything else is leading up to the game. There's a lot going on behind the scenes there leading up to a game.
Patrick Mahomes talked about that. He's playing against one of his idols.
Of course he is. I mean,
Tom Brady, when he won his first Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes was in kindergarten.
Patrick Mahomes in kindergarten.
Patrick Mahomes grew up idolizing Tom Brady. Now he's going to play against him in the Super Bowl.
You hear that from a lot of the young quarterbacks. That's their idol across the field there. Patrick, you have the same thing with Drew Brees and the same with Aaron Rodgers. That's their idol across the field there. But it will be interesting to see if Aaron Rodgers. I don't think Drew Brees is going to be back next year. He sure did act like after the game that was going to be it. And he's got a job.
He's going to NBC.
And he's got NBC, and they said that he wasn't going to make it. He will call a news conference, they said, to make the announcement on that. But Aaron Rodgers is going to be the one that's interesting to see if he's going to come back next year.
He's playing. The question is, he's going to come back.
Is he going to come back with Green Bay?
Right. I mean, there's talk already that he may be, he may want traded to San Francisco or somewhere like that. So apparently there is something to the fact that him and the young coach don't see eye to eye.
No, they did draft that.
And the fact that he didn't get to throw it on 4th and 8.
I know. Well, they did draft a quarterback first round this past time. Has he been? He's through his first year now.
The coach said he wants Rodgers back. I mean, he said all the right things, but the question is, does Rodgers want back the Green Bay Packers? Brett Favre left. And then you never thought Brett Favre would leave the Green Bay Packers.
No, you didn't think he would after winning 2 Super Bowls.
You want to thank Aaron Rodgers, but stranger things have been known to happen.
You just don't know what goes on behind the scenes. You got what sounds good and then the real truth. So we'll see.
That quote by Bruce Arians pretty much showed what happened with Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. Did you see that quote?
What was that?
He said Bill Belichick wanted to let Tom Brady coach. We let Tom Brady coach the whole team. We don't have any problem with him coaching the team.
You can't buy that much experience.
He coached our team to the Super Bowl.
He's seen it all, been through it all.
I mean, it's just a remarkable turnaround. I mean, like you said, everybody bought into what he's got all that knowledge and knows what he's doing. Just, phenomenal athlete.
Yeah.
Great knowledge of the game.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he's been there, done that, and we'll continue.
It should be fun to watch. Kansas City's going to be tough to beat. Defending champions, they got a lot of talent on offense, but
so does Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay's defense looked awfully good though in that game against.
They looked good against Breeze, and they looked good against Rodgers and against Washington. Now they get 2 weeks to heal up some of those bruises and bumps and get ready for that big Super Bowl game. I'm looking forward to it. There's
no Kansas City's lost one game in 2 years. So, they're hard to beat. Unfortunately, I got to take Kansas City again. So.
You're taking Kansas City?
Yeah, I'm taking Mahomes. I'm taking Andy Reid. Taking Kelsey.
Yeah, I'm going with Tampa Bay.
I just can't.
Go NFC.
He's got enough rings.
He's 6-7-0. Well, Holmes is young. He's already got one.
Yeah. He may get 6 before
he may get 6 before it's over with. It's according to how they can keep the teams together. It's harder to keep teams together these days. Talking about several of the Kansas City Chiefs players that'll be up for free agency at the end of this season. So it's hard to keep teams together these days.
I said I just partial to Andy Reid. I like Andy Reid. Like I said, Andy Reid came down when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl, played in Jacksonville, and I followed him all that week and got to be around him. Just can't help but like Andy Reid. So,
and he was coaching who then?
Philadelphia
when they won.
Terrell Owens and Donovan McNabb and all that. They played a good game, but they lost to New England.
For such a successful coach, he's really been to a lot of different places, hasn't he? I mean, wherever he goes, he wins. But then next thing you know, he's off somewhere else.
Just a good guy.
Yep. Well, I'm pulling for Tampa Bay. You can pull for Kansas City.
I'm pulling for the Chiefs.
Oh, boy.
Brady's won enough.
Brady's won enough. No, you got to look at Brady. You got to look at Tampa Bay. They need a. Tampa Bay needs a ring. Kansas City's already got a ring.
My heart ached for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I know. That was sad.
It is sad. Yeah, I was pulling for Aaron. I was really hoping he could get that second Super Bowl.
He played a great game. I thought he played well. But like I said, when you get that red zone, you got to score touchdowns. Devontae Adams dropped a touchdown.
What is it with the receivers dropping passes?
Yeah, they dropped a 2-point conversion. They just let the easy touchdown right before halftime. I mean, the Packer defense that was playing so well didn't play very well. So,
well, they got 3 turnovers in the second half. You think that Green Bay would have taken advantage of those and would have won, but they didn't.
They didn't.
If it should have, it would have.
Sad to hear about Hank Aaron Friday.
Yeah, that was sad. Yeah, I did. You don't hear about folks when they're not doing well. They're apparently in the hospital or hospice or something like that, and then not doing well, and then passes away. But I mean, we all remember that big home run.
All right. I still remember that plaque we used to have.
Yeah, the plaque up front before the station burned down.
We could put that on eBay and we'd be rich, right?
We'd be rich, but no, the fire had to burn up all those souvenirs we had from the station for all those years. Just burn it all up.
We had the commemorative plaque where he broke the
why didn't we
record.
stay in the station, Bob, and take everything out?
Because place was on.
We could have hosed ourselves down with a hose and come back inside and saved all those souvenirs.
Because my grandfather was fireman. He said, get out.
Get out. Don't try to be a hero.
Don't worry. Only thing that matters is you're alive. Get the heck out.
And we did. You out the back door, me out the front door.
But I'm thinking, that's the first thing I thought of when I heard that Hank Aaron passed. I said, if we just had that.
We just had that Hank Aaron plaque. Yeah, we had all kinds of plaques up there and everything.
Put that on eBay and made a fortune.
I was watching something yesterday before the game started. It was the 1998 home run battle between Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire. And, I remember that, 1998, we were talking about that. We had the Butch and Bob Show going at that time and talking about Sammy Sosa and McGuire. And we weren't even thinking about steroids at the time or juicing and stuff like that because it was not illegal. It was not anything that anybody thought about or talked about because it was something the MLB didn't say anything about it. There was nothing on the books that said you could not take this stuff. Everybody was taking it, sounds like.
Chicks dig the long ball. Those are the commercials.
The chicks dig the long ball.
Buzz down there hugging them and telling them how much he loves them because they're all making money.
Yes, sir. But see, they had the strike back in 94 is when they had that strike, and everybody kind of got disenchanted with baseball. And baseball was loving this home run battle between Sosa and McGuire. They were absolutely loving it. It kept, on the front page of the sports page and sometimes the front page of the news page of them battling against each other. And then when McGuire hit number 61 to tie Roger Maris, and then Maris's family was there in the stadium and everything in the park, and then get 62. And then Sosa came back and tied him and then went ahead, and then McGuire came back and ended up with like 70 or something like that. I mean, I guess when you're in the middle of something, you just don't see the historical significance of it. But today, that was quite a battle between them two.
Yeah, people don't understand. Back then, not only was it on the sports page, it led the ABC, CBS, and NBC News.
Yeah.
That was the lead story on the Major League. Sammy Sosa hit a home run tonight. Mark McGwire.
Yeah.
Who's in the lead.
He's in the lead.
The whole nation was just captured by it because, like I said, it brought baseball back and it filled ballparks. And
they were in the same division, so they played each other a lot. That's the thing about it is...
Yeah, the Cubs and the Cardinals had a big rivalry.
They're big rivalry. They're in the same division, so they're playing each other a lot. So you had Sosa and McGuire on the field a lot at the same time. And it was just a heck of a story between them two, just bamming that ball out of there.
Then Sammy went to Congress and forgot to speak English.
He knows speak English.
Don't we know nothing. What? Me? What? Stereo? No. I know. What do you say? Has it turned? Sammy don't speak English.
Yeah.
Sammy, don't understand what you're asking him.
Pull a Sergeant Schultz there. I know nothing.
And I said, and my buddy Barry Bonds saw what was going on and said, I can do that. And he bulked up and hit 73.
Boy, did he bulk up. He went from a skinny little old guy in Pittsburgh to a bulked up guy in San Francisco.
You know, he's cut for Hall of Fame. So, you know, Tuesday's the vote. They probably won't get him, and Clemens probably won't get in again because of the steroid issue. But like they said last night, if you're going to deny those guys Hall of Fame induction, then you need to take Spud Selig out of the Hall of Fame. Because he was the commissioner. He knew what was going on. He embraced it. He loved it. So why is he in the Hall of Fame?
It wasn't illegal at the time, Bob. There was nothing that said you could not do it. They weren't testing them. There was nothing on the books that said you couldn't take it.
It was a banned substance at one time.
Well, it wasn't. That year it wasn't. It was not that year. Now, by the time that Bonds got up into San Francisco, and they did all the couple of years later, it was
investigation, all that stuff.
But it was not illegal at the time.
Bonds still has never admitted to this time.
No, he's not. He's not admitted. McGuire did eventually end up, but he said, you know,
McGuire admitted he's taking it.
Yeah, he's taking it, but he says
I don't think
it wasn't illegal. He said it wasn't. It was not a banned substance at the time that he was doing it.
He still got a job. I mean, he got to be a hit instructor for many years. Sosa, I don't think he's ever admitted to it. Now, A-Rod's admitted to it.
Yeah, A-Rod tested positive, so he had to.
He's got a big gig. You know, he's making millions on TV. So
what's A-Rod doing?
He's doing Baseball Network. He's
a commentator.
Yeah, he's a commentator. So.
He's a broadcaster, huh?
He doesn't do much. He's married to J-Lo. So
but McGuire was put into the St. Louis Cardinals Hall of Fame. They showed that. Right. He was put into that baseball Hall of Fame there for St. Louis Cardinals. Now, he's never been, of course, in the Baseball Hall of Fame, but in the St. Louis Cardinals, he
had that one good year. I don't think his career is Hall of Fame credential, but Roger Clemens and Bonds, they definitely have Hall of Fame numbers. They should be in there. If it's just like Pete Rose. He should be in there, but it is what it is. I'm just saying, if you're going to be fair, going to be fair across the board, then all these people won these championships and got all these records due to these players who are on steroids. They shouldn't be in either, especially Selig. Selig's, I mean, he's the biggest culprit of all. He knew it was all going on, but
he heard rumors, Bob. That's what they said. He heard rumors, but I mean, what do you hear rumor about? It wasn't illegal. There was nothing that says we're going to test you for this, that you cannot take this.
Yeah, they said it's just have a wing of the Hall of Fame. This is the steroid area.
This is the steroid area.
That's where these guys are.
Yep. Let's have a wing there for that. This is steroids.
Let's just start with Pete Rose. Let's just get him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, with Pete Rose, they had betting slips where he wrote it in his own hand. He had some fingerprints on there. He still denied it, even though they showed this is your writing, showing your betting for these different teams. This is your fingerprints on it. This is your handwriting. I didn't write that. He just denied it for years, even though they had more proof than you could shake a stick at.
How hypocritical is it? You know, Babe Ruth can't get in the Hall of Fame, but they got Fantasy Kings and all this betting sites, and everybody's betting everywhere.
Who can't get where now?
Pete Rose can't get in the Hall of Fame. Banned because
he was betting on his own sport. That's the thing about it. You don't bet on your own sport. You have, as they were saying, there's a lot of professional ball players out there who bet, but you just don't bet on your own sport.
He's still the all-time hits leader.
He is. There's no doubt about that.
He needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
He was Charlie Hustle.
Put him in the Hall of Fame.
Put him in the Hall of Fame, huh?
That's where he needs to be.
Even though he'd lied through his teeth for years.
It's time to forgive and forget.
Someone says Hank Aaron is the real home run king. I say amen to that.
Yeah, well, forget
he
that.
Is.
I don't see any asterisk by Bond's records. The record stands.
Oh, another birthday text in this morning. Happy birthday to Jenny Thomas. To Jenny Thomas, I love you, and Annie Cat. So happy birthday to Jenny Thomas. To Jenny Thomas, I love you, Annie Cat. That didn't come into about 7:52, so the birthday calendar was over with by then. And happy birthday to Johnny Harrison. To Johnny Harrison, I love you, Mama. That came in after the birthday calendar. Yeah, I feel that Hank Aaron is still the home run king, and a lot of us Braves fans feel that way. And I know Barry. If Barry had never played for Pittsburgh Pirates, you probably wouldn't be feeling this way. And if you didn't have his cards,
maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not.
I said I just grew up with Barry.
I know you grew up. He was a skinny little thing then.
The Killer Bees, Bonds, Bonilla. They could play. So I still see Sid Bream sliding across home plate, so I still have nightmares of that.
Oh, boy. I remember that.
That was a painful night in Atlanta for me.
Yeah, you were there.
I was there.
You were there watching Sid go across the plate there and the Braves win.
Yep.
Well, the Braves have won the, the Eastern Division for 3 years in a row now. 1 game away from being in the World Series this past year. They've improved as each year has gone by the last 3 years, and they've made some signees for this year to make it even better. And so we're looking for great things from the Atlanta Braves again this year. Division winners 3 years in a row, 1 game away from being into the World Series this past year. And, the Dodgers just had so much more talent than the Braves, and they had to play those games back to back to back to back. If they were able to play like you normally do, where you play a couple of games and you rest a couple of days, and you play 3 games and you rest a couple of days, Braves might have been in there. But when you play that many games back to back because of COVID, and you got a team that's got twice as much talent as you do, the Braves lost that very last game. They were close.
They'll be in the hunt this year.
They'll be in the hunt again this year. Division winners 3 years in a row, and 1 game away from being in the World Series. And we're your Braves radio station for Southeast Georgia. This will be our 51st year of airing the Atlanta Braves, and 51 years of bringing Atlanta Braves baseball to the folks here in Southeast Georgia. The longest serving radio affiliate on the network. No one else is even close.
Be interested to see if they have a normal season where they have games in Atlanta.
What will they have this year?
Game,
Yeah, what will they have this year?
The NFL was, knock on wood, it was amazing. They were able to have an entire season. They had a few people test positive throughout this course of the season, but all the games were played. Nothing was canceled. So NFL was able to have an entire season. Now they're, like I said, 2 weeks away from the Super Bowl.
Well, some of the players were talking about what they had to do during the season to isolate themselves. So social distancing.
Like I said, they were talking about how more amazing that Tom Brady story is. The fact that he got to Tampa, but they really didn't have
no preseason, no practice, nothing.
Right. So he didn't have the normal camp, normal whatever. So
right.
The fact that he's able to go down there and lead that team to the Super Bowl in his first year is.
What do you think about them?
Bill Belichick? What do you think about that?
Belichick? Yeah. What do you think about them going to 17 regular season games and 3 preseason games this year?
They don't need preseason. They really don't. The preseason games.
Well, they pick who they're going to keep and who they're not going to keep.
They don't.
But they got 3 preseason games and 17 regular season games this year. Same number of games, just the starters are playing more often now.
I said Bill Belichick, who...
What have you got against? What has Bill ever done to you, Bob?
He's just arrogant. He just, they talk about what a great, like they said, he's got a losing record without Tom Brady. I just think it's a funny story that they had to decide. Belichick said, "I'm better than him. I'm the reason we're winning. I'm the reason we won all these Super Bowls, and not Tom Brady. We don't need Tom Brady. Tom Brady goes to Tampa Bay. He's in the Super Bowl. Belichick has a losing season with Cam Newton." Yeah,
it's like Fox Sports said. They don't have any decent skilled players.
It goes back to that famous saying. It's not about Jimmy's. It's not about X's and O's. It's Jimmy's and Joe's. And Tom Brady he makes a
Joe's and Jimmy's.
he's the GOAT. He's the reason they won all those Super Bowls. He's the reason that they're in 9 Super Bowls.
All right.
And he won 6. Now he's going to his 10th, which is just amazing.
Now, where do you put ring number 7? Because you got 3 on this fingers here and 3 on this fingers. What do you do? Put it on your thumb? You sure in the world can't put it on your little pinky finger.
He'll wear it on his toes.
He wear it, put it on his thumb, I guess we're going to have to put it.
They give it to this kid. It was nice to see. That was a nice story, or a nice scene. After the ball game, his son was there. And he went and hugged his son.
And he asked the security there, says, "May I see my son?"
Right.
He didn't say, "Bring my son to him." He says, "May I see my son?" He asked nicely.
Yeah. But that was a nice scene, nice picture.
Yeah, it was. Very, very nice. Anything going on this week locally we need to know about?
The school board meets tomorrow, that's all.
Still discussing who they're going to hire a school superintendent, right?
They got it down to
13, you said? 15?
15, and then they got interviews set up late in the month and early February. So.
Okay. All right, Bob.
Still trying to find out who killed that man on Oglethorpe Road, and the DVI sent out that tip line. So, again, if anybody knows anything from them, give that tip line one more time before I get off the air, because they sent that press release.
And the name of the deceased is?
Jerry Davis is the person who's been deceased. He was killed in his own home on Oglethorpe Road. Worked for McDaniel Vinny for years. Was a good employee, from what I understand. 31-year-old Jerry Davis. Again, the tip line, they say they got some information. Again, it's 1-800-597-8477. So, again, you can call that anonymously and give any information you may have about the shooting out on Oglethorpe Road. So hopefully they'll have an arrest in that case soon.
All right. Well, Bob, anything else?
That's it.
All right. Have a good day. All right. The world-famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply, by First Southern Bank, by Local Boys Construction, and Damus Famous Fingers and Rings.
World famous Butch and Bob Show.